All right, we're live. I'm Brice Hancock. This is Mile High Recovery Chat, and I'm here with Geno Shvedov.
Hey, what's up? What's up, Brice?
Did I pronounce it right?
Yeah, it was perfect.
All right. So I just want everybody to know that, like when I do these, I research what the person does for like a living or what their projects are. I don't research their story because I want it to be, like spontaneous. And so I don't know your story. I met you. Allison Harden said, "Hey, there's this guy, Gene. You were Gene back then."
Yeah, I still am. Everyone just calls me Geno. I don't know.
Okay, you're still in my phone is Gene Hazelbrook.
Yeah.
And she said he's starting a sober living, and he could maybe use a little, I don't know, direction or advice. Remember? And I came out and I saw your house and I met you.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
Yeah, and it's like I'm a big vibe kind of person, and like the vibe I get from you is that you are like tenacious, like you just don't give up, right? Like you kept showing up to everything sober living, and you would ask tough questions and sometimes get bad answers, but you just kept like plugging along. You know what I mean? Like going for it. And so what I want to do is like we'll get back into that, but I want to know about you. You're Russian.
Yep.
Okay. And so you moved here when?
So I was like 3.5. So it was 1991, I believe. It was like back when Russia was like right at the very end of like all the communist stuff going on, and my family was just really trying to get out of that. Like it sucked, from what I understand. I don't really remember it because I was like 3.5, but my family said it sucked, so they're trying to get up out of there and come here to America, and somehow we just ended up in Colorado. Most people, I don't know, go to like New York and stuff, but we had some some friends of my mom. My whole mom's side of her family is Jewish, so she had some like volunteers that were helping us with the immigration, and they just like set us up out here in Colorado. And yeah.
So you moved here with your parents.
Yep.
And one thing I do know about you is that at some point you got into drugs.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. What was that?
I don't know. Honestly, like, I don't know if, being like an immigrant, maybe that had something to do with it. But like, I just, retrospect, man, I realized I had a lot of, issues, like social issues, man. It's probably like just finding who I was, with identity, fitting in, coming, so yeah, like somewhere around probably right in the beginning of middle school, man, I kind of just really started acting out, man, and just got involved with, the wrong people, and maybe just kind of trying to find who I was, and decided that identity lied in being this troublemaker person, and just kind of got in trouble. I found that got me the attention, or like the popularity, or respect ment that I was looking for at that time. And so I just took this totally wrong path, and just went totally left, man. And it started off with just like, I mean, it was kind of a red flag. The first time I ever drank was actually in 6th grade, and I got super like belligerent drunk, like super badly drunk. My dad had a bar in the basement, and that he had left there, and seeing how adults drank and stuff, they would just take shots. I had some little issue happen at school, and like I came home and decided I would just do like the adults did and just drank like a whole bottle of cognac to the face. And needless to say, that didn't really work out well for somebody that was like 12 years old, and ended up passed out on the side of the street, like literally in the gutter. And thank God somebody called the ambulance on me, and like I almost died my first time ever drinking. And so that should have kind of been a red flag right there.
So I don't know if you know this, but I mean, you probably do. Alcoholism is a big problem in Russia.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's such a big part of the culture. Like, I mean, all Russians like drink, and it's just so common. And it's almost like kind of like especially amongst the men, like if you don't drink, it's like you're almost like you're kind of soft. You know what I mean?
I do. I was watching an interview with James Hetfield, the singer of Metallica, And he's sober now. He got into recovery, and they asked him, he was talking about why. Was there a bottom? Did something bad happen? And he said, no, I went to Russia. And it's what he said. I went to Russia, and I just saw like the way they drink, and I tried to keep up with them, and it was bad. And he got sober. He went to rehab. I mean, he was clearly having other problems, but I just found, I thought that was eye-opening, that seeing Russians drink made him want to quit drinking.
Yeah, they definitely get it in, man. We Russians, we get it in for sure. So
vodka, right? Russian vodka.
Yeah, I mean everything. I mean that's the kind of the common assumption, and that's the Russian drink. But I mean, Russians drink everything, man. They like it all: tequila, cognac, everything.
Yeah. So so at one point you ended up in the correction system, right? Criminal correction system.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so I mean, I was always like, just all through like since that time period, like it was just nonstop, just like getting in trouble, little stupid things like, my parents split up. I was rebelling. I was trying to find who I was, trying to find my own kind of like way.
Identity. Yeah, your identity.
Yeah, like my manhood, I guess, whatever you want to call it. And just constantly getting in trouble. And it was like just always little things. It wasn't like anything crazy, like just a bunch of little stuff all the time. And it kept adding up. And my mom, bless her heart, she's an amazing woman who, loves me so much. But she would, always have my back. Like that's just kind of, that's another kind of Russian thing. Like Russian parents, like they always have their kids back, like no matter what. Like it doesn't matter if the cops are involved. Like they'll lie to the cops. They'll get you out of jail. Like it's just kind of like a culture. I'm sure. I mean, it's not just Russian, but like it's definitely like how it is, with Russian families. So she would always get me out of trouble. And so I just continued to get in more and more trouble. And long story short, without going into all the boring details of like all the crazy stuff I did. I mean, there was just so much shit, man. Like I put my mom through so much hell as a kid. And going into my adulthood, I was always a smart and talented guy. Like, not to like toot my own horn, but like in school, I did really well. Like I excelled when I applied myself. In sports, I excelled, but I was just, an alcoholic and a drug addict, like a lot of us are. We're very smart people a lot of the time, very talented, but sometimes too smart for our own good. So she was always pushing me to stay in school, pushing me to go to college. I was like, got through most of college, but just kept getting worse and worse, and kept getting like more probation, violating probation, this and that, until finally, like, it just got so bad. Like the judges kept like giving me chances, and finally got me, like I got on intensive supervision probation, and it was always drinking was always my big thing. And then they would always put me on like like UAs. I do everything to like get around the UAs. They'd even put me on those like scram units where like they have an ankle monitor to test you for alcohol, and I would do the craziest things, like you try to put like a piece of bologna in the scram unit so you can, like for real, so you can drink and stuff. And like
I heard about that.
Like all these just crazy like things I would do, man. It's so insane to think about, just so I could get high or drunk. And then like finally, I don't know, one time I was on the scram unit. I remember I met somebody, and they got me on some harder drugs. Like I got into like the whole upper scene, got into messing around. Like I was messing around with coke already here and there, but then I got some meth introduced into my life, man. And that's when things just went real bad, real fast. Yeah. That drug is no joke for sure.
Yeah, it brings a lot of people. It brings a lot of people down. It brings a lot of people down, but it helps people hit bottom faster, because it gets real weird real fast. Right?
Oh yeah, man, for sure. Real weird real fast, man.
Yeah.
And and then I just finally just I got like the judges were done with me. They're like, look, man, like I know you're trying to go to school, like you're a good guy, you say you're a good guy, but you're just like, you won't stop. So I got a little prison sentence, a little 2-year prison sentence, and everybody was devastated by it. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Like I'm a thug now. I'm a real thug. Like this is like a rite of passage almost. Like for
Yeah.
real. Like you would have thought that would kind of be like the end of it, but that was just really the beginning. Like I went to prison the first time, and like I thought I was doing some things. I thought I was like tough, and I was this like drug dealer thug person. I went to prison. I was like, wow, these dudes are like doing it on a whole nother level. So I was like inspired by that to do more stuff. So
What? Oh, you were inspired to become like more of a criminal?
yeah. So like I got and got even worse. Like I went back to prison like 3 more times after that because like I kept getting out on parole, and like once you're on parole, they're like immediately like anything you do wrong, you're immediately going back. So
Yeah. I mean, for anybody listening, the only like once you're in trouble and you're on UAs, the only way to beat it is to not do it. You can't beat it. Like you literally can't beat it forever. You might beat it a couple times, and that makes it worse. That makes you cocky, right?
Yeah. So I mean, I just kept going back and back, and it just kept getting worse and worse. And I don't know. For me, it was just I don't know. It's all a game. Like I just wasn't taking it seriously. Like I just thought that this is cool. Like I'm over here, selling drugs, being like this. I had like these delusions. I was being like some drug kingpin person. Like it was just crazy.
Well, it fits though. It kind of fits. Like you've got like this. Like I said before, I like vibes. Like your vibe is kind of like I don't know, like a young Rocky Balboa or like a young Joe Rogan type of character. With like a kind of a hard past, but now they're like a nice guy.
Yeah,
so
yeah. I guess
it kind of fits in with your story. You know what I mean? Like kind of hard headed and just cocky and like you can kind of bet like he's always gonna make the wrong decision. We like guys like that in a way.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's something about me. Like I just like I'm always had that kind of like just I still do, and I find that kind of in other places now, which I'll talk about in a sec here. But yeah, I mean, I guess you're right. I've always just kind of like that's just who I am. Like I'm not like that, straight narrow kind of guy. I'm always just like trying to have that edge, I guess. But yeah, man. Long story short, like I just kept messing around, getting involved in like how it is, man. When you start messing around with those serious drugs and those people in that lifestyle, things progress real quick. And next thing you know, man, I'm sitting in a prison cell, and I just got caught up on a case in prison. I was already in prison. I got caught up on another like really serious case, and then where I got caught up with like a bunch of dope when I was in prison, and like shit was getting real serious. Like I was looking at some real serious time. Like I was like had like numerous felonies, and like I'm looking at some real serious time, all because like I'm so badly addicted. And kind of hit me, man. Like the situation happened, and the reality of things hit me. And I remember I was locked up. I was in the hole because I just got caught up on this this situation, and the hole was like solitary confinement. And I'm thinking like I'm about to get a bunch of time, and that's when I had that spiritual awakening they speak of in the big book. And I was without anything, and I was like I don't know, I was sitting there, and they took everything from me. I was like broken, literally, like just mentally broken. And I'm thinking, I'm looking at myself, I'm looking at my skin or like my body, and I'm thinking like I'm made up of all these little like cells and stuff, and all these little cells. Like I got these skin cells and these like fingernail cells, but like all these cells are like a part of my body, and like they all like they're their own little entities and stuff. Like they have their own little roles and functions, but they're all like designed to serve me. Like to them, like it's almost like I'm like their god. You know what I mean? Like it's my will. They're here to serve my will. And it would be crazy if there was just one cell that was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna do me. You know what I mean? Like I know I have enough like nutrients and stuff to like get by, but I want to take all these other nutrients from these other cells, so like I can just look like I'm the shit, and just that would be crazy. But there are cells like that. There's like they're cancer. It's called cancer, and it just clicked in my head. I was like, holy shit! Like I'm a part of something bigger. Like this isn't just about me. Like I'm a part of this bigger thing. It's not about my will, but like this bigger will. And it just clicked to me. I was like, holy shit. And I was like, it was so funny because I'm like running around the pod in jail. Like after this, like after they let me out the hole, it was like 30 days later. I'm running around telling everybody about this, and they were just looking at me like, what the fuck? Like,
no, that's an amazing story, dude. That's
yeah,
you're talking about that, like the surrender, the
yeah,
experience, the spiritual experience, like that internal shift where
yeah.
you wake up, right? And it's like what you thought your life was, you were all wrong.
Yeah, it was like, to me, it was like the most amazing revolutionary like thing. I was like, dude, you gotta like, I was like, we're all like these cells. People are like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? You've been in that hole way too long. Like, they're like, you lost your mind.
Yeah.
But and
So
then
you stayed sober.
so I mean, it was kind of a yeah. So I had gotten out, and then I came back like, and I was with this girl. You probably know her, Veronica, at the time. Her and I aren't together anymore, but you know, whatever. Like, so her.
I remember her.
Yeah. Her mom actually. I had to go back to like, because I got out, but I had to go back on this case that I was like still like I got caught on, so I had to still do more time. But when her mom was like really involved in the church and stuff, and there was this guy who. Or her mom's friend had this son who was like in a different state. He was like fucking up real bad on drugs and smoking meth and all this stuff, and just getting started with that. And her mom asked, she's like, "Would you write him? You know, would you write this dude a letter?" And I've never done anything like that. And I was like, you know, that's weird, but like I'm in prison, so I don't have anything but time. So whatever, I'll write him. So I wrote him a letter, like, look, man, like I know what you're doing. I'm just letting you know there's no pot of gold at the end of this rainbow. Like, you know, you think, you know, you're going to live this glorious life, but I'm surrounded by guys right now that thought that same thing. And they're all like, you know, 50, 60 years old, sitting here, you know, fighting over soups and stuff. Like, that's what's going to happen. Or that's best case scenario, or you're going to die like a miserable death. And so whatever, like I just sent that letter, forgot about it. Long story short, this dude ends up like, he gets this letter, and he was like so moved by it that somebody, you know, he doesn't even know would take the time to write him, and like it inspired him to get himself. He turned himself into this like Christian rehab type place, and basically got sober, changed his life, decided to start working there. Now helps other people, and then like wrote me back, like wrote my girl's mom back at the time, and told her that, like, you know, this letter is what was the catalyst that inspired him, and now he's changing lives and changed his life. And I was like, holy shit, you know, like that feeling to me was like better than any drug I've ever done. You know what I mean? It was just like, wow, I can't believe this. And
being of service. Yeah.
And it was like, it speaks of it in the Bible, like store up your treasures in heaven. And that's what it, like, I understood. I was like, okay, so like, this is what it means. Like, this is something that can never be taken from me. You know, this is some material possession that can be taken from me. Like, because the cops always come and take all my stuff. Like, they come search your cell and just take all your like belongings. So I was like, this is something the cops can never take from me, you know? And I was like, immediately I was like, this is what I need to do with my life. I was like, I need to help people. So yeah, that's what kind of inspired me to get into the whole like sober living thing. I also, I had some schooling, like I was saying, I was going to school before that. I went to school for, I was going to school for business management, marketing, and real estate as well. So I felt like all those things kind of just like, that's God's plan. Like they're like, you need to get into this, you know. So I've been in sober living too, and I was like, okay, this is what I need to do, and this is how I can help people. So that's kind of what inspired.
Like I call that like a purpose. You're living a purposeful life, and for me, that's like on the other side of getting sober. Part of it is like you hit this point, and it's like, well, who am I? Who do I love? How, like that feeling you talked about of helping other people, it fills you up, right? And so that's what I call it. And for me, it's like integral. It's so important that I have that sense of purpose for my life. Or what's the point of waking up? You know what I mean? Like it can't just be about get married, pay bills, and then die. It's got to be like something bigger.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that part of your story. And so you got out, and I know you work for Hazelbrook. You're not an owner, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much like the owner there. I'm pretty much,
Okay.
run the show over there.
All right. So you're an entrepreneur. You're a realtor. I'm a realtor too. And but let me just digress real quick into the MMA stuff because I'm fascinated by it, man. It's like
Yeah,
because I know people will say, well, yeah, exercise and it's important, and that's true. I go to the gym just about every day, but like most people in recovery, when they talk about exercise, they talk about like CrossFit, they talk about
yeah,
running, going to the gym. MMA fighting, where you hit another man with your fists or you kick him with your feet, like that's another level, and it's a lifestyle, right? It's not
yeah.
just exercise.
It is a lifestyle for sure. I mean, I think it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like. I think to most people, it seems like this like just malicious, violent kind of sport or activity. It's really not, man. It's honestly one of the most spiritual things that I do for sure. It's for sure the most spiritual thing I do. It's very, very spiritual. Like yeah. There's obviously it's a sport, but there's so much like discipline, so much ego deflation involved, so much community building uh, involved in that. So yeah, I mean, so I I don't know, like I wrestled a little bit when I was in high school. I did a little bit of karate here and there. Like I've always kind of been a combat sports kind of guy, even though I wasn't really able to pursue it like I wanted to when I was in my addiction. Obviously, like it's really impossible to do that when you're actively using. Um, so I've had a little bit of a background, but not like anything super. Like some people are like, go to they're college wrestlers all 4 years, like state champions, this and that. Like I wrestled a little bit in high school, but I wasn't by any means like a professional in any way. So, uh, but it's always been like a love and a passion and dream of mine. And so when I was locked up in jail and prison, I just kind of used my time to work out and to pursue this. Like I didn't really fight a lot in jail and prison. Like it wasn't like all the time like we were getting in fights. There was a place where we had this thing called like Friday night fights, which was really cool. At CMRC, some people might know about it, but they every Friday they had these big rooms and like they would just kind of like all these people would get in there and they would have these like kind of like fights with the different inmates and stuff. It was pretty
It
cool,
sounds
but
insane.
yeah, it was crazy, but and like the guards would be in on it and stuff. It was pretty crazy, but yeah, there's like a couple different ways you can go when you're locked up, man. Like a lot of people get really depressed and like get involved in gangs or sit there and play poker, play cards all day, and do that. Or some people like use that time to better themselves. And when I'm not on drugs, I'm like an amazing, good person. Like I'm very motivated, good-hearted. I'm not like some people in prison like really genuinely belong in prison. Like these people should never get out. Like you should not be a part of society. You're just like a horrible scumbag person,
Agreed.
even when you're sober.
Yeah,
And
no, some
but
people, they need to be away from society. Some people do.
yeah, but the majority of people in prison, I would say, are just people that were very badly addicted to drugs and were just like completely out of control and just doing crazy stuff. And then they get locked up because they just did some crazy shit when they were all high or whatever, or just like not following the rules. And then when they get sober, they're really good people. So I don't know. I used working out. I would work out and I would read books a lot. And I actually had this really cool conversation with Michael Hornbuckle the other day, and we were talking about the kind of the wellness aspect of recovery, and we're having this group about it. And I was saying, a lot of times like there's like the mental, the spiritual, the financial elements, like all these different areas of your life, and a lot of times those are things like you can't really control. Like even if you're really like depressed and sad, a lot of times it's hard to get yourself out of that. Or if you're like, whatever, like your environment, like it's hard to get yourself out of that. But for me, I found that like fitness was the one area that I could control. I had absolute control over that. And like there would be times when I'd be like super depressed, feeling bad, but I'd be like, okay, I would force myself now to go do like 100 push-ups, 100 squats, 100 sit-ups. And then all of a sudden, like I'm not feeling so depressed, like I'm feeling better. And I thought that was really cool. So it was a way for me to stay positive, stay active. And yeah, and I just wanted to fight MMA. And I was like, I knew I had a talent for it, and I was like, I can be a champion. You know, I can be a champion if I get out and pursue this. I can be a champion. And I honestly didn't even get out of prison and like get straight until I was like 27 years old, 27 going on 28, and like that's super like in normal world, like that's really late to start an MMA career. Like you have a lot of these guys that are going like 18, 19, 20 years old already turning pro. So like a lot of people told me, they're like, you'll never do that. Like, come on. Like my parents were like, that's a joke. Like, come on, like be serious. But I was like, no, like I love this. I love this is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do. And, I trained in there every day. I would train like religiously. I even met this guy who pulled up, and he was an actual trainer from a boxing place. And he got locked up too. And like I would pay him in soups to train me. Like he would hold these shower shoes. He'd hold shower shoes and as focus mitts. And the guards, they were not cool with this at all. So we would have to hide out, and I would have to like pay this other guy to keep watch to make sure the cops wouldn't come to catch us, because if they did, we'd get a write-up and I'd lose like any chance of parole. So it was like a lot of risk involved in this, but I just loved it. I did it. And
well, I saw your first pro fight and you won.
Yeah.
Congratulations. You'll keep
Thank
doing
you.
that. I'm sure I'll come check you out, man. I'll come see a fight. So I want to
they-
switch. I want to hear about ParadigmOne, because I know that's an idea a lot of people been kicking around for a while, that like, and it's so needed. It's a community center, right?
Yeah.
So
So
how did it happen, and what is it?
Okay, so ParadigmOne. See, I got the sweatshirt on. We're a brand new recovery community center. We just opened up our first location in Aurora. Right, it's right on Iliff and Buckley, actually right next door to the Buckeye AA Club, right there behind the Myers and stuff. So it's a great location right next to AA meeting and stuff. So that's my background on MMA. I love MMA. It helps me in recovery. It's like I love it. I also run the sober livings. I run Hazelbrook sober living. We've grown a lot. We've been doing a lot of things there other than just straight up sober living. We try to provide a cool, fun environment for people, fun things to do. So we have a lot of different. We were like over the last year or so, we're having a lot of really cool groups and stuff. We're having like fitness stuff going on at the houses. We're having a really cool art program. We would even do like some boxing stuff, some yoga, and people were loving it. Like people were absolutely loving it. Huge success and great feedback with it. And so we wanted a place to be able to do this at, and we wanted this to be available to not just people at our sober living, but to the entire recovery community. Like this is something that's super needed. I think so there's the Phoenix. The Phoenix is awesome. They do their thing and they're downtown and all over the country. But in a lot of ways, we're similar to them, but it's a different flavor. We're different in the fact that we have a boxing ring there. We do like actual boxing classes where like we train and spar and all that stuff. We also have yoga there. We have an art program. My friend Brad, he runs the art program. It's something we've had amazing success with it. People just love to be able to come and express themselves through, painting or drawing or doing different things, and just use that as a way to express themselves in their recovery. So we got that. He actually, if you look behind me, my boy Brad made this painting for me in one of the classes as like a present. So that was really cool. He's awesome. So yeah, we got that. We also have a guy, Jason, my boy Jason. He runs a music recovery program. He plays in like a band, and that's probably actually something you'd probably be super interested in, because I know you got the music thing going on. But he's a young guy. He started his little music recovery group, and good feedback with that. So all these just awesome, cool things, man. It's just a community center where we do cool, badass stuff. And I think that's super important, because like AA, NA, it's amazing. It's great. Church is great. All these therapy programs are great. They all have their place, but I feel like recovery is so much more than that. Like the reason we got high and partied is because that shit was fun. That shit was fun, and it created a sense of community, and it gave us an escape.
Yep.
And
the opposite of addiction is connection, right?
Exactly.
And you take alcohol and drugs out of your life, and you can fill it with AA, but there's more to life than AA. I mean, don't tell my AA friends I said that, but you got to try stuff. Like we have to, because what's fun is drugs and drinking. You have to find new fun activities. And you need to explore new things, exercise, art, music, or just hanging out and watching music and watching people box or whatever. And you meet people, and the next thing you know, you have new people in your life who are also sober, and they're going through the same things as you're going through. And so that's what you're talking about. You're talking about that thing that, like, treatment centers, we can't instill that in people. This is the magic that they need to find, and it's what you never see in movies about recovery, but it's the friendships and the relationships that keep you like sustained and hopefully in recovery for the rest of your life, right?
Right, for sure, absolutely. And like for me, I found that with my MMA, like I was talking about, like with the fight team I'm on, it's a family, man. It's a family.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the people aren't in recovery; they're not in recovery. But I mean, it's a fight team, so people aren't like getting high and drinking. It's they live a positive lifestyle, but we're not constantly talking about like all the bad stuff we went through in our using times, which a lot of times. So like, I just wanted to be said, like, I work a 12-step program. I love AA. I'm not saying anything bad about it. All I'm saying is, like, sometimes you want to do other things than that, and complement it in other ways. So that's what I've been able to find. And we want to just create that environment to, like you said, build that community, let their guard down. And then we do talk about like spiritual principles there. We do talk about how's your day going, like what's going on, and we use it as a platform to reach people that way.
Yeah. So congratulations, man. It's great. And you're going to help a lot of people. It's going to make a huge impact. And I mean, there's so many sober livings in Aurora that it's the place, that's where it needs to be. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Scott Mounds is out there. You guys are out there. Kevin Chavez is out there. Sherry's out there. There's tons of sober livings out there.
Yeah, and that's kind of so the name of it, like ParadigmOne, like the logic behind that is like, so paradigm is like, the kind of the vision, how you see things, and the one is like we were all one, like especially as the entire, as big as like the entire world, like we're all one regardless, race, color, whatever. But also like in the recovery community, I wanted a way to, like you said, especially in Aurora, like there's so many sober livings out there. There's so many people in recovery, and I wanted a place to unite everybody where we could all come together. And that, that's why we created a separate entity. Like it's its own nonprofit. Like it's a place it's the community's, like it's a community's place. The community owns it. I'm the executive director there. I do what I can to help out. But so Sherry's actually on our board.
No kidding.
Yeah, Sherry's on our board. We got Michael
Hornbuckle's awesome. Sherry's awesome.
Yeah, he's on the board. Michael Hornbuckle's on the board. A lot of people, Tomas from Tribe.
He's awesome.
Who's helping us out?
These are juggernauts, man. These are local juggernauts.
Yeah, man, we got a recovery scene. Ryan Kennedy from a Free Church, pastor at Free Church. Yeah. He's on our board of directors. We got some people from like some judicial systems and stuff on our board. We got Piers Grogan, who's the president of the 12-Step Recreation Association. He's on our board. We got Jess Kidd, who she's a recovery coach, and she's somebody that has a very, very extensive fitness and training background, and she's on the board. She's the chairman. So we got an amazing board of just like you said, juggernauts, recovery juggernauts, and we want to just unite everybody, man. We want to give this to the community, and
Grand
yeah,
opening. When's the
yeah.
grand opening? When's that?
So, okay, so we're open now. We've been open since January, but we're having our official grand opening. It's this month. It's actually basically a little over a week away. It's April 24th. And we really want to, we've been promoting it a lot. We really want to get everybody out there because we're going to showcase, what we got going on there. People that normally wouldn't know about it too. We want to get, obviously, everybody from the recovery community out there. People that are maybe in the recovery community also. We want to so we're most likely gonna have some news coverage there. We had 303 magazine come out and do a big story on us. So I think we're gonna have a couple of different news outlets out there, hopefully do us some coverage. And so we just want to use that as an opportunity. We also partnered with the DEA. They're doing a drug take back day. They do that annually, and so they want to use ParadigmOne as one of their give back sites. And ironically, or I guess not ironic, coincidentally, the grand opening is the same time as their drug give back day. So we partnered up with them. We're going to do that there. And basically we just want to get everyone out there from the recovery community. So if anyone is watching this and you're in recovery, definitely come out and see us April 24th, 11 to 3 p.m. Tell your friends. If you're somebody that works in the recovery community and you have like some kind of a business or something, we'd love to have you out, and maybe you could set up like some kind of booth or something to tell people what you have going on and how you can be a resource, and just whatever works.
I'll be there. I'll come out. I'll show my support, man. I think it's good. I think it's going to be hugely successful. And I hope you help a lot of people. I hope you have a lot of fun. And I appreciate you. I appreciate your tenacity and how you just never give up, man. You just keep moving forward. And it's almost like, I think I'm the same way. Like, I just do stuff. I don't even figure out how it's going to happen or how it's going to work. I just do stuff. And just keep going, right? And so keep it up.
That's why I think Allison was like, she was like, you gotta connect with Brice. She was like, use him as a mentor. She's somebody that, so like, I really appreciate, from day one, you're somebody that I've always looked up to you. I've always kind of, respect what you do and try to learn from you, both like directly and indirectly and stuff. And so, I know like I'm young, I'm in this industry, so I try to learn as much as I can, and I just try to, I appreciate all you do. I know, like you said, we are like-minded, and I like that word, man, tenacity. Like, I just try to do stuff, and hopefully it works.
Yeah, it's going to keep working, man. And if it doesn't work, you just kind of either you push through it or you go around it. You find a way around it, right?
Yeah.
And, so just keep doing it, man, because people will be drawn to that. They'll be attracted to that, and it'll get bigger and it'll get better. And that means you'll help more people. And, like for me, like I started one house. It was me and Hornbuckle. We were there every week with the guys, and like we'd have that one-on-one connection. And I kind of miss that one-on-one connection because now I have, too many houses and a bunch of employees, and I miss the one-on-one. But people they're getting help, and it's like, and that's my talent. Like that's my special skill is I set it up, and they're gonna find their own magic, right?
No, 100%. Like I totally can relate to what you're saying because, and that's another like one of the reasons why I wanted to create this place too. Is a huge motivator because I ran into the exact same thing. Like Hazelbrook, like all this stuff started happening. It was like I was so involved, and that was such a big part of my recovery. And then boom, 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 everything expanded, and like now all I'm sitting here doing is like admin work and just like invoices, this and that, and I don't even talk to anybody at the houses, and it's just like I miss that involvement with the people. So I was like, if we open this community center, I could be there and I could do what I love and teach boxing and help people one-on-one and like reestablish that connection.
Right on.
I totally relate to that.
Right. We're out of time, dude. Thank you for coming on the show. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and I will see you April 24th.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. April 24th. Yeah, ParadigmOne. It's our new slogan. We just came up with it. Is badass recovery. Badass recovery.
I love it. All right, dude. I'll see you there. Thanks a lot.
All right. See you, Bryce.
All
Thank
right.
you.
See